Hey there, and welcome to episode something or other of You Haven't Seen That, a podcast as podcast where three, sometimes more friends sit down and watch a movie that one or more person hasn't seen. Just a few notes before we start. One, this is not a podcast for children. We swear a lot. We have some frank discussions that may end up in a sexual manner, and sometimes some people got their titties out. It's me. I'm people. I record this in a hot closet, and it's more comfortable to not have my shirt on when I'm doing so. Bite me or not, I'm not your father figure. Two, there may be some audio issues. We're really early. I'm still figuring stuff out, and you would think after buying a new microphone, I would just know how to make it work automatically, but apparently you got to do things multiple times to get skills in it, and you can't be good all at once, which I think is bullshit. Anyway, also, three, we aren't professionals. We're just friends that like to sit down and talk about movies. If you want to get like real deep critical analysis, you might get that here sometimes. You might not. Either way, sit down, buckle up, get you something to drink, take care of yourself, and enjoy the show. Let's go. Actually, hold that thought. This is a special thing because we weren't together when we watched this. If you've seen the movie, stay around, have fun, enjoy. If not, this is going to have a ton of spoilers in it. So what I would suggest you do is go watch the movie, still have this running in the background, actually just put it on loop so I can keep getting the views for us. Thank you very much, namaste. And then come back and listen to it. Either way, just be mindful that there are going to be spoilers in here. We can't help it. We're nerds. Anyway, now cue the reverb.
I don't care. This is going to get cut out. Don't cut it out. Don't fucking cut it out.
I might not cut it out.
Go watch Madden Whistle.
He should, yeah. Shout out to that guy.
A way bigger YouTuber. Who obviously he obviously needs the help from nobodies.
So I've had one interaction with him on Twitter, and it was not positive.
Oh no!
What? Oh, what happened?
It was something for. It was a fan-made fighting game. It was a website to download that. And I looked at it and it's like, this is the sketchiest website I've ever seen in my life. He's like, yeah, it is, but like the stuff on it is good. I was like, yeah, I mean, and then like I immediately did that thing where you're like, oh shit, and you backpedal, but you like kind of apologize too much at the same time. I don't delete tweets, so it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't delete tweets either. There actually is a very single tweet that I deleted because I had gotten into an argument with someone about something that didn't matter, and we came to we actually worked it out, and I'm like, hey, do you want me to delete that just as a show of good faith? And they're like, you know what? Yeah.
Okay, so
I delete tweets a lot.
I don't. I'm not a coward.
I'll say things and then just think about it after that and go, I don't want to do this today. I just delete it.
Motherfucker, I have already been impeached.
It's never like a regret over anything I say. It's just like, man, I don't want to deal with
like spending the energy for this today.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm unfucking politicianable. I can never be a politician. I've been impeached 12 times.
Would that make you a great politician?
Well, I don't have the money, so we'll never find out.
Okay.
No. I don't cut that one out. I don't want to be on record calling my wife.
I will cut that one out for you.
Okay, bitch.
It's a different gender dynamic.
Okay, well now am I going to cut it out, or am I just going to have like a whole bunch of weird bleeping sounds there?
That's funny. That's funnier.
If you want to, is anybody really going to?
Word.
Well, actually, I may have already you're gonna have to put 5 minutes of B-roll without any cursing anyway. So.
Oh, are you supposed to do that?
Yeah. Part of the reason, you might shut up. I'm explaining something. Within the first 5 minutes, the filters are looking for swear words, and it might fuck up your
Well, I'm not monetized, so I don't think I have to worry about that just yet. But I will keep that in mind for the next intro I record because the last one has swearing in it. It also has me mentioning my titties in it.
It can have swearing later in it. It's just the first 5 minutes currently.
We all know they'll change the rules next month.
They will. They're going to change it next week. You know it.
Yeah. They'll probably change them as we speak.
Pretty much.
They probably listen to us as we speak and changing them. Someone at Google, my NSA agent, hey, you're welcome for all the great porn I show you.
This is a podcast about movies, and we're here to talk about a movie. The Dungeons and Dragons movie, to be specific.
Yeah, that one. Which now I'm realizing is not a good leading because this is not a video game. But there are video games about it, but it's not a video game.
PvP and TTRPG.
Yeah, it's never fun.
If you're an asshole.
It's never fun.
No. Like, okay, actually, here. One of my formative D&D moments was I had my character, there was a person freaking out, having a panic attack, and I had my character, like, grab him to try to calm him down and give him a hug, and they warlocked him. They had this stupid possessed knife. This stupid possessed sexy knife that could turn into a golden Adonis human. Made of gleaming metal. Yeah, no, my GM is totally straight, sis man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, buddy. Nah, he was just throwing us gays a bone. The true meaning of
is possession stuff really like? Does that count as PvP?
He wasn't possessed. He was just panicked. Like we had to like he was just panicked, and I used calm emotions on the bitch, and he fucking won the roll.
I remember this, yeah.
And we have PvP in the Strixhaven game that I'm running a lot.
Yeah,
it's just very low stakes.
Hello, everybody. It's the PvP.
So this is just going to be a TTRPG podcast now.
Well, PvP in D&D sucks unless you're just like really into it.
Pretty much.
No offense to those who are really into it. I'm sure you have really great builds that are really well tuned. I'm just stupid.
I'm sure you have very good opinions about how games should be run.
Well, no.
That's not fair.
That's not fair because like fucking my D&D group has some people that they have run games specifically as tourneys to test their builds.
Like that kind of thing's fair. Yeah,
because
that's different.
My GM likes the war game stuff.
And if your whole group goes into it like, hey, we're all like PvP may be an option. We want to have this enabled. If everybody's okay, cool.
And when it happened with my character, it was a big emotional moment. It was a good moment.
Okay, yeah, like all of this, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I was just thinking the ones that are just being dickbags to everybody, but that's
no.
That's not even PvP. That's just don't be a dickbag.
There are some people it's like you can play melee, but that doesn't make you a stinky melee player.
What?
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
Okay. So we're gonna assault all the nerd groups today.
Well, there are a lot of good melee players. In fact, I don't got so many beatdowns by really nice ones.
But you're calling them stinky.
Well, that person wasn't stinky.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And look,
that's great.
I don't know enough about Doctor Who to annoy Doctor Who fans. I can't care enough to watch it.
That's the meanest thing you could ever say about a fandom.
All I can say is Christopher Eccleston is the best one. The end.
I don't know. I'm not even like a part of the fandoms for the things that I do like. So I can't even say anything on any of that.
I'm the ringleader of the gay faith server, so I'm not even gonna start.
Yeah.
I just got D&D and like Power Rangers. Those are my two big realms.
So anyways, D&D movie.
Yeah, D&D.
Yeah, the D&D movie.
That movie
we don't
fucks.
have to like
It's really great.
Please,
rolling credits.
That's the whole thing. Nobody cares about Doctor Who, and we watched the D&D movie. The end.
But no, like, yeah. What do you think about it, DJ? You were the person whose opinion I wanted most because aside from our roommate, you're the dude that builds characters that fuck good. I mean,
I was drinking water, thanks.
You're good at building characters that fuck things up.
And fuck good.
So there's a way I wanted to approach this in like the good, the bad, and the ugly like thing. Like, here's what I really liked, here's what I didn't think worked, here's stuff that was bad, like just awful. And while I was ruminating in my mind about that, there's really only one I'm going to start negative so I can end on a positive note, you know?
Good
Sure.
idea.
So there's like only the most negative thing I can say about the movie
Uh-huh.
is that Edgin, the Bards,
Uh-huh.
his very cute black wife,
I know.
had 15 minutes of screen time total and had one line, and she was dead. That's
Fridged.
such a waste of a character.
She was
They
fridged,
her. And in Beyonce's year 2023, they wrote a fridging the wife storyline.
Yeah, that crossed my mind at the beginning. Yeah, so that's
is
fair.
Yeah, I'm at that. You know, actually, I think because see, I couldn't really think about much else bad either because I didn't even think about it because I was just wrapped up in the fun adventure. I like seeing a fat dragon. But that's a very good point, and it feels like they wanted the credit of an interracial couple without showing an interracial couple being affectionate.
But I counted like that's the only ugly I have in the movie. And like we can talk about like the pacing being weird or like how during like the middle of the movie it seems like they lost agency for a bit, but I like that character, so I don't.
I think that was on
care.
purpose.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for us to go through the characters individually in a minute.
Yeah,
but no, seriously, I think like the parts where they lost agency there, I think that was on purpose because I think some of that shit was meant to be like a DMPC moment.
it was absolutely a DMPC moment with the ultimate DM Fiat in there.
Oh, he's just gonna walk over the rock.
No, not that. The DM Fiat was,
silly.
I have a bridge puzzle here for you. I broke the bridge puzzle. God damn it. Here, you have a staff that teleports you across the bridge now.
I will be honest. Actually, this is the biggest honor that I can bestow upon this. And I'm not going to use the guy's name because I don't want to put him on blast. There are pieces of this that I could see my own GM writing. And he is literally the best GM that I've ever fucking played with. The idea of, you have the teleport thing now. That's a GM thinking fast on their feet to move the castle to the swamp.
Yeah.
It was just.
Go ahead.
But aside from that, it was such a fun movie.
It was. I was gonna say real quick. This is probably a thing to edit at the beginning of it. We might want to have a thing that just says, "Hey, spoilers," since this is still.
I always like before I edit the episodes, I do like talky intro, so we're good.
Okay, yeah. Just all right. That's all.
I haven't actually watched the episodes because I don't want to listen to myself talk.
That is, I can barely edit the episodes. I feel you there.
You have eardrums of steel.
I mean, okay, like I thought I was gonna be the worst about that because it's like, oh god, I get freaked out at my own voice all the time. This is gonna be terrible. And like all I could think listening to was just like, oh yeah, I just sound like a trans woman. Okay. That's fine.
Girls being girls.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you.
But
there's nothing wrong with a trans lady. That's
well,
just
I am.
You
So,
are
yeah.
a trans lady, so like
that's what I say.
Wait.
It's just
Hold on. I'm sorry.
You're trans?
I do have no.
we didn't introduce
I'm
ourselves.
Sis. Oh shit, we are like way in here. Hi, I'm DJ.
It's
I'm
me.
the host. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. I'm DJ. My pronouns are he, him, he, they. I guess mayhem, because that was fun for me the last time, so I'm just going to keep doing that until somebody drop kicks me and tells me not to.
You got two trans co-hosts here. We're fine with it.
Yeah, someone gives you shit, you call me.
We're the arbiters of pronouns today.
There's so many trans people in my separate like circles of friends. It is honestly baffling.
That's because
it's almost like
you're a good friend.
Normal.
It's almost like stand users attract each other. There is a little thing for all you JoJo fans.
Is that a reference?
Yeah. Also, I'm Gilly, she, they pronouns, and I was attempting to be the cat wrangler, but I'm not any better at this.
I'm the cat they're trying to wrangle. Hi, it's Hell Breakfast.
Go on. Pronouns?
Oh, right, yeah. He, him. He, him, and her, apparently.
We're
So, anyways,
Do we need to re-record this?
no, this
Nope.
is great. I love it.
Look,
Anyways, my turn. Above our opening thoughts about the movie. Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Go
Go
for
ahead.
it.
oh okay.
I was just about to say this is just like playing D&D. Nobody's on topic
Yeah.
half the time. Go
Yeah,
for
nobody's on top. We're all
biggest-
over each other.
The biggest thing that I was able to say at the end of the movie was, "I want to watch it again."
it. Mm-hmm.
That is my immediate reaction. Was I want to watch this movie again, and I think that's the biggest compliment. And yeah, I can agree on the thing about the fridging the wife plotline, which I guess goes to say like the delivery of something really makes a difference, because I pretty quickly forgot that it was the plotline. Like when they first introduced it, it was like, oh, okay, we're doing this, okay, sure, whatever. And then like 15 minutes in, I'm like, oh, sure, this is an adventure, this is fun, I'm fine with this. And I just kind of forgot because they landed like everything. Like every other point of it was perfectly fine. So yeah, I liked it a lot. It was good. Hecky.
Am I supposed to say, what am I supposed to say here? Am I supposed to say what I
Just-
liked now?
Initial
Opening
thoughts, and then we can.
Oh,
babble
my
each other
opening
about it.
thoughts. My opening thoughts are pretty simple. Wow, caught that reverb. My opening thoughts are pretty simple in that I missed fantasy movies, guys.
God,
Mhm.
yeah.
I fucking missed fantasy movies. I fucking like.
Colorful
Honestly,
movies.
Yeah, colorful movies. Like sometimes the special effects weren't entirely perfect, but I missed. If they were perfect, I think it would have been lamer. It was kind of like a modern Willow.
Yeah.
And I know tons of Willow fans might come out of the woodwork screaming, oh, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, Willow was just as corporate as this. It's fine. It's okay to enjoy something.
So, a couple things riding off of that. I am okay with the special effects and stuff in this movie not being super perfect. One, because there's a lot more practical effects in this movie than I was expecting.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so good.
I saw a lot of
And
the
two-
behind the scene. Oh, you're good.
Finish that.
I just saw, like, before we saw the movie, I saw clips of some of the behind the scenes for the practical effects and heard some friends talking about it. I was like, oh, that's really awesome. That's really, like, I'm excited, like, more excited now for the movie. And yeah, the puppetry, the effects, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. The fucking, I don't know what the spell is called, but turning the ground into sand.
Oh, that looked good.
That is such a good shot, and seeing like that was practical is really awesome.
I wish
So-
that they had one of the furry races as a party
The main
member, but I
character?
know, and not main character, because you're never going to get that unless it's a specific, we're aiming for that crowd. It would have been cool to have like a tabaxi as a character. I can see why they didn't though,
Yeah.
and I forgive it.
I am another reason I'm willing to forgive like the way the special effects look is because this is like a little fantasy movie. It's not a big budget Marvel movie. Like,
I actually don't know the budget.
150 million. I just had it pulled up.
Shit's so
Yeah.
inflated. I don't even know if that's good or bad. No,
That's
the average Marvel movie is 2.5 times more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the
so
average
it's,
Marvel
so it's,
movie also has the big D. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
This
so
is
it's
not a
big. It's
big
big, but
Disney
it's not.
fantasy
Yeah, it's
movie.
big, but it's not Disney big. Yeah.
mm, yeah.
Like you said, this reminded you of Willow. Like I walked out of this movie going like, man, I want to watch it again, but I also kind of really want to rewatch The Princess Bride.
That's fair too.
That's
yeah.
a very
definitely see
that's
that.
very kind of like, yeah, like it has that feel. It's not, and it's not all Joss Whedon-y.
It's not, the
Yes.
dialogue in this felt like a D&D table,
Yes.
with the
it
exception
didn't-
that there was not enough swearing.
yeah,
My favorite-
You go.
But- you go.
There's just like something that I had said when we actually I said this during the movie and then said it afterwards too. It's like I'm glad like this movie doesn't feel like I'm a little more forgiving of this than a lot of people are with a lot of modern movies, but it wasn't like winking at the camera comedy all the time. Like most of it was, this is funny things kind of teasing what is there, but it's in the way that we would as people who play D&D. It's like, yeah, this stuff is inherently funny when you look at it, but it's not in a way that's like it's still genuine. It's still like we still like this, that we're still genuinely telling the story, and we're making it funny while being genuine. And that made like a huge shit. Like the closest I can think of that was like the Speak with Dead scene, where Doric says like she makes the comment about, oh, you can only use it like 5 questions or whatever. That seems arbitrary. And honestly, it's like that's her character. like it's in another movie I would have been annoyed by that line, but it's like, no, what? No, like there's that whole thing of everybody kind of shitting on Simon and her saying that because she's so blunt about it. It makes sense. It makes sense she would say that.
Poor Simon. It was good that he was fighting himself in the end. Yeah, spoiler, sorry. We already mentioned it, but
fighting an elder and had to like get self-confidence to, you know, walk up to ancient family member and be like, hey, yo, no, fuck you, great granddad. I'm fantastic.
Also, they made Elminster black. That's gonna piss off so many shitty nerds. So many nerds are gonna be like, how dare you make our doorstopper man?
I will say there was a missed opportunity to have one of my favorite like D&D characters like in the canon show up, even though he's mentioned by name.
Oh, who was mentioned?
Mordenkainen.
Oh, Mordenkainen, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mordenkainen is a wild character in D&D lore, and I wish he showed up, but
maybe they're saving him.
I do know who will play Mordenkainen.
Who would play Mordenkainen?
I'm going to fan cast Mordenkainen for the sequel. I think his name is Mark Strong.
Now I gotta look him up.
I do too. I don't know who that is.
Visual medium.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. He's from Kingsman, the guy that was the teacher for the most part. That wasn't. I know.
He looks
movies.
a little like
I've watched
Elio.
Kingsman 4 times.
Gonna need to cut that out.
What?
He looks also, a little like a teacher that we had in school.
Oh yeah, he does.
But like I can see him playing a pretty good Mordenkainen. Also, this movie didn't do a whole bunch of we're actually just setting up a cinematic universe. It's like, no, it's a story in a fantasy world.
Got a full story. It's fine.
But the closest really is just Zaztam is the big villain that's in the background, and we don't really, and they mention him at the end, and that was it. Like even the post credits thing was like a comedy scene. It wasn't like a world scene.
This movie pulled the Fifth Element.
It left it open, but a complete story anyway.
The main character, Edgin, never came across the main bad guy that was in charge of everything, Zaztam.
Oh my god.
I suppose so, yeah. I would have considered that, like, I mean, because he comes across like main bad guy of the story, but just not the background bad guy.
Yeah, but Zaztam's
the main bad guy. Yeah.
Aside from the druid, no one's level 20. Let's be real. That druid girl is level 20.
She's not. Like, I get why everybody says that.
She has a million changed wild shapes.
Okay, this is like one of the biggest points of contention for the movie. She did 7 wild shapes in a single like day. But if you cut that out, it was such a cool scene.
Oh, it was a great scene.
It was really, really cool.
It was a great scene. I'm not sad it happened.
All right, hear me out.
Is it even possible at level 20 to get that many wild shapes? Is there like
you have unlimited if you are at Circle of the Land. Either way, but hear me out though. Think about a DM's like, you know what? No, this is cool. I'll let it happen this one time. It's like a rule of cool moment.
Go ahead.
It's like the rule of cool moment, and I'm like, I get everybody saying it's level 20. I've let stupider shit fly in games that I run. Like,
yeah, but see, no. See, it depends on what kind of GM.
Yeah.
I've had several GMs that would have looked at me and said, "No, the rules are there for a reason, little boy."
I love that. Like, I'm majority GM for our tabletop games. I've been in the process of writing my own, from scratch, tabletop system. I've done like wrote in like several campaigns and all this stuff. And then whenever D&D conversations come up, I've played D&D comparatively so few times that I'm just nodding along when you guys talk about the specifics of the rules because like I don't know. I could not tell you any of those off the top of my head.
Well, okay, it's a very cool scene, and I'm glad it happened. And regardless of if she's quote unquote level 20, because let's be real, like these characters are not thinking about their levels, which is good.
No.
There are stat blocks for them, and they're all like CR5, and I'm like, okay, sure.
You're a liar, but all right. Aside from the bard, I think I could actually physically take him.
In a fight, right?
I said what I said.
Okay, this might be a good time then, because I think this is a movie that's going to benefit best from us just going through the characters since it was so character driven.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the names pulled up just to make sure I remembered them. Edgin Darvis, the bard, let's get it out of the way because everyone keeps saying he's not really a bard. Yeah, he's a rogue that just knows how to play music.
We had a long.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I made an actual TikTok saying the same thing, that he just comes across as a rogue, until a YouTuber I follow broke it down. She pulled up the stat block for this character, and all of the spells he has.
He doesn't have spells.
Let me finish. All of the spells that he has on his character sheet make sense because it's stuff like friends, charm person, like things that you can just say are auditory.
Oh, that bitch.
That works, yeah.
And she broke it down, and I was like, well, hot damn. I guess I'm an idiot.
See, we had a conversation because he's like a harper, which doesn't have, as far as we know, doesn't have like an actual mechanic in 5e, but in 3.5 it did, and you had to be a bard. But visually, you never see the man do magic, so I'm like, what the fuck, is he just the most charismatic guy? And I'm like, no, he's using a somatic component with his loot. Okay, there we go.
He is also just a very good charismatic character, because it's like one of those things, whether you're going into it as a D&D fan or just someone that's just watching a fantasy movie, it's like for so much of the movie, he doesn't like do any of the outright flashy stuff that the other characters do. Most of his stuff is typically just like, I'm encouraging the other people, I am talking my way out of something, I'm causing a distraction, I'm doing like so many times that in the D&D fan part of me, I can sit there and go, hey, that's a charisma roll, that's a charisma roll, that's a charisma roll. That's times that I would tell people to roll dice for talking to people. And then just as a fantasy thing, it's like he steals so many of the scenes just being a charismatic character that you kind of forget that he doesn't like fight for most of it. He's there just kind of leading things along with everybody else, and it works really well.
I'll be honest, that's the kind of character I play.
Exactly, yeah.
I tend to play support people that really aren't super combat-y and do a lot of the, hey, why don't we chat? Why don't you give me some of that? Why don't you give me that fat loot for a discount?
So to strengthen my thing, I pulled up his character stat block. The spells he has are at will. He can cast Friends and Message, which
is Friends a cantrip?
Yeah. No. Yes. I think it is. We should not be getting down this rabbit hole.
No, this is a D&D movie. This is the perfect rabbit hole.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, he can do Friends and Message as at will, which again, you could flavor both of those to not be like super flashy magic. Charm Person and Disguise Self. Again, two spells that could just be, hey, I'm really good at talking, or hey, give me a makeup kit. I got this.
I got this, bitch.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And then he has Suggestion, which again, charisma rolls. So I see the argument for and against him being a bard.
I'm coming around. Suggestion and stuff, all of that's really good. And again, it behooves him to not look like a mage because he's a spy.
Yeah.
So
okay.
in the
wait, do we need to introduce the rest?
Yeah, I was gonna say we just talk as much as we want about each character and then go through it, and then DJ will have the task of editing down our bullshit from there.
You say edit down. I mean, we'll see.
We'll
might leave me babbling again.
Yeah, why not?
This is something that, like, honestly, all of us were looking forward to. We were scared. I was scared about it. I was scared it was going to be like, oh, there's a dice roll on screen. Oh, that's a natural one moment.
I was scared of them doing a pullback and you can just see that it's people playing a game moment. Like, that's what I was scared of going into it.
I was scared of that. It was a, hey, the Gamers was good in 2000.
Yeah.
2006 or whatever.
The Lego movie moment, which was a good moment, but the Lego movie thing where they did that.
Like I said, the Gamers did it back in the day, but it was good then, not now. Not for a big budget movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad they stuck to, we are making a fantasy movie
first.
That is just happened to be D&D.
Yeah, it's based on a setting that people have wanted to see visually for a long time.
Yeah.
And this movie's kind of gorgeous. Like,
oh, it's so good. It's so pretty.
Like locales.
But it was very, very pretty. Yeah.
I love the costumes. They're also stupid. The man wears a fucking D&D. He wears a modern leather jacket, which a lot of people got pissed about.
Oh, this was something that I had mentioned during the movie too, when we saw it. Was I was like, this is not a medieval movie. This is a D&D movie. Mm-hmm. Like this is not a movie that's trying to go for having these specific accurate things or feel or whatever for it. It's like, no, this is D&D. Stuff's gonna be weird. You're gonna have costumes all over the place. You're gonna have all this really intricate stuff. You're gonna have the different random fantasy races kind of thrown in here all over the place, which is great because that's exactly what I wanted. Which reminds me of something that I was gonna say earlier too with the special effects. That's like, I'm not gonna really call it a criticism, but there was because there's of this reason. Some of the races, like the tabaxi cats, the fursuits, the bird guys, all the different suits, the fursuits. Like there was a little bit of stiffness to a lot of them, but it's like, you know what? I'm just so happy to see you guys going all in on having these be practical effects that I'm fine with that. I don't mind that there's some stiffness to it because you said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to actually build these suits and make it look like it's a part of the world. And that changes the feel for the movie so much to be like, I'm just glad it's there.
On that budget, I don't expect Jim Henson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm just happy to see a fat dragon. It was so fat.
The fat dragon's so good.
Denver was,
I gotta pee.
Was a lad.
A chumby boy.
I was warned that there would be a chumby boy. I was not prepared.
So chumby.
Like he
so
started
wonderful.
coming out, and then more of him kept coming out, and then more of him kept coming out.
And you know what? They mostly restrained themselves on the fat jokes with it. Like the most they said was like, "What he moved? He ate his own horde," which that's pretty funny. Like
I mean, they're standing
also,
on a mountain
he might
of bones.
have eaten his last horde.
That boy definitely had a good hibernation eat cycle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Do you know
cute.
any of his lore? I don't know any of his lore. What's he about?
I sure don't. I know none of the lores of either of the dragons that were in the movie. But since we're talking about large lads,
I forgot there were two.
Oh, let's talk about her. Okay, I can't remember this character.
Let's talk about Holga.
Okay,
let's talk about Holga.
Holga Kilgore, the barbarian.
AKA,
she was great.
AKA Michelle Rodriguez in the role she was meant to play.
She was very fun.
Yeah.
She was.
She was a low end barbarian. Like that's what she was.
Yeah.
I love her so much. I have to get this joke out of the way, even though it's for the end of the movie, not the beginning. So they did not break her kill streak. She ended up dying, but they did break it. She did come back.
So she got to do both in one movie. Yeah.
This movie did two things that I was very shocked and happy about.
I am proud of you for not killing her.
Actually, you know what? I'll say I'm proud. I am proud of them for not leaning into the meme of, hey, this is a bard character. He's going to try and seduce and sleep with everyone. No, he's a pretty just monogamous, dependable dude.
Yeah,
he wasn't trying to bang everything in sight.
Actually,
and also,
go ahead.
It's so genuinely good scenes about being a dad, but go ahead.
And also, It was a platonic relationship between a dude and a lady that didn't end up with them in a relationship.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I was going to point out. Yeah, it's a platonic relationship between a man and a woman, and they're both really fucking attractive people, but they are not interested. They're just buddies, and
They're just friends.
they take care of a kid together, but that's about it. They're family.
Okay, platonic and actually, there's honestly like every little thing to it because you have to take care of the kid together. They point out at the end of the movie that Holga is basically Kira's mom. It's like it's like Kira never knew her birth mother, so to her, Holga is her mother, and yet the two characters are just they're platonic. They're like, yeah, we both take care of this child. This is our child as friends, and
We're family.
And they weren't gay. like that was something too. It's like when they did the thing with Holga about her, okay, we're gonna go see your partner, your ex or whatever, and her ex was a male. And like a halfling male, which we'll get to that in a second. Which I was like, I would have been perfectly fine if it was an LGBT thing, but it's like there wasn't, because there's some things that try to use like a weird quote excuse for having those characters to be like, oh well, you don't have to worry about it because one of them's gay anyways. It's like, no, they're not. They're just friends. Like they respect each other as like it was. They had a very fun friendship.
They support each other. They can disagree with each other without being cruel. They sometimes they antagonize each other, but they're not cruel.
It's a friendly antagonize.
Yeah, it's like, again, when you're you're teasing your sister or brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's also very healthy.
Holga had a really touching moment in this movie that they tried to undercut it by the ridiculousness of her having
out of nowhere
a halfling ex-husband.
That was such a good scene. Like,
I think it actually, for me as a player, it's heightened by the fact that so much humorous stuff, like when they meet, it's totally gooby, dumb shit bullshit, right? And then it gets really real and really emotional and really earnest really fast.
So fast, yeah. Like I think like I'm gonna end up mentioning this in like half our episodes, but whatever, it's fine. I didn't mention it before during it. It's like it has that kind of One Piece vibe of like, let's throw out this really crazy, ridiculous thing we're doing and go, haha, isn't this fun? Anyways, time to cry. Like time to be dramatic. Yeah.
Also the tiny dude and the big lady, I'm there for it. Yeah. Big lady and the tiny dude, I'm there for it. He has a type, and so does she. So does she.
Yeah. I mean,
she likes a man she can throw.
You give us a scene of big barbarian lady and tiny little man in the chair too big for him talking to each other, having a genuinely healthy conversation about a broken relationship and how they had to do what was best for them. And it's like, what? This is good. This is such a good scene.
And about how, like, hey, Holga, you never moved on.
I love all the halflings in the movie. They look like the random halflings that they just throw everywhere. It was so good. They just roll with random dwarf.
Just open up After Effects, shrink by 50%. There we go.
The one random dwarf who they made a very big deal to make sure that dwarf looked like a dwarf.
Yeah, that was a dwarf.
Put all like the makeup on it. It was like, oh, that's a dwarf.
That's a dwarf.
That's a dwarf ass dwarf.
the dwarfiest.
Honestly, now that I think about it, surprising that he was the only dwarf in the movie that I remembered. But yeah.
There might have been like one or two in the backgrounds, but yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, one teeny tiny thing in that scene with Holga and her ex, I remember sitting there, she goes in, and I'm like, okay, why is his furniture that big? He's tiny. Why is it normal size? And then in walks his wife, and I'm like, oh, that's telegraphed. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so good job. Tiny moment, good job.
So I'm gonna bring up the character who I sadly feel had the least amount of development over the movie.
Doric.
Yeah.
I feel like she had the least to do.
Yeah, she simultaneously had the least to do, but still had some of the best scenes at the same time.
Absolutely. Like some of the best magic scenes outside of whatever was coming from fucking Safina happened with Doric.
She is obviously, and every table has this. She's obviously the friend that is really into the mechanics and the and building a strong character, but could take or leave roleplay.
Pretty much. Like, she comes across to me as the one who's like, yeah, I'm here, and then she jumps on her phone.
Oh, okay. Like, see, I've had friends that are just like, they're more into the tactical element.
Yeah.
Oh,
any like
just shake my desk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like she could have been. Actually, no. Sometimes the tactical people are the dudes that are on their phone until combat happens.
Yeah, like by no means was she like a bad character in any way, but comparatively to the stuff the others got, yeah, she had less involvement in a lot of stuff.
I don't think she had a finished arc. Now that I'm thinking about
she didn't really have an arc.
She started with what she wanted. She knew what she wanted.
Yeah,
she was just along to help. Honestly,
they're fucking up my forest. These people help take care of me, so I care about their forest, and I want to beat up the dudes for breaking the forest. That's it. I'm here. Let's go do it.
It's a fair criticism, but like, but then you get into the weeds with the tiresome literary argument of, does every character really need to be three-dimensional? Does everyone truly need to have an arc? Can you have a static character and still be fine?
Yeah.
I will point that out with something that you all might disagree with.
Go ahead. Say what you want.
The perfect defense against a character needs to be 3D and evolving all the time is Goku.
Man.
Well, Goku how do you likes to fight and he likes to eat. That is his whole character.
Yeah.
And he is perfectly fine for it. The other characters are three-dimensional, but Goku himself is just like, all right, I'm here to fight.
Goku's not a character, he's a catalyst.
I'm here to eat. You couldn't see it, but I like pointed at my microphone like, exactly. I need to learn how to use my words in this audio medium.
I mean, honestly, like, you know, Dork, what is Dork's real purpose in the movie? It's to have a bunch of shape-shifting scenes into different creatures, which she does in a lot of really awesome scenes, and to be blunt and criticize the other characters, which she does, and it's memorable and funny. So that's what I could definitely give her, is like, she's still memorable even without having much of a character arc, and so that's good. Yeah.
One of the things I will say this is going to piss so many people off, so I apologize ahead of time. I'm glad they didn't do the fucking eyebrow horns.
The brow horns?
I hate them. It's almost a design. That's the thing. It's almost something interesting, and there is something it falls so flat.
I myself am a fan of tieflings with ram horns.
I like ram horns. They're pretty good.
Either ram horns or like the tall straight up horns. Like those are the two I tend to go for.
Those are pretty good too. The thing is, that's the thing that does bug me about WotC having such a standardized art style, is that they will say, oh, a tiefling can look like X, Y, and Z. Red tieflings are pretty rare, actually, and blah, 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 blah. Well, what kind of tiefling do they always show? They always show the exact same kind. Mm-hmm. They look like the fucking Draenei. It's like...
Which I was shocked that to find out she was a tiefling in the movie, since it looks so different.
Yeah, I was sitting there wondering, like, are you a shapeshifter? Are you a satyr with disguised person? What's going on here? But no, she's a tiefling.
I love WotC saying, hey, yeah, red tieflings are rare, and like the whole fan community's like, not anymore.
They never have been. You think devil, you think red.
I mean, anytime that they do, because there's been tons of tabletop games that are just, that will say like, oh, this class or this race or this thing is rare, and it never is in practice. It's always when people go, no, I like that, I'm gonna play that one. All they're rare, but they're all in this one place because we're all playing them back to back.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the double problem with, and this is just TTRPG shit in general. If you put the mechanics in, someone will create it. So if you say this can happen, it's gonna happen. There's this stupid RPG that I don't want to talk about very much, called like X-Font Draconis, and it's a dumb furry shit RPG. And they're like, oh yeah, there's this thing where like you can like mix like, you know, a leopard and and a falcon, and you can get a griffin person, but like you shouldn't do it as players. You shouldn't do it, and then proceeds to provide the mechanics while talking about how rare it is and how nobody should play these. Why do that? Why make it?
Why give the option in the first place, though? Yeah.
Yeah, like if they didn't want red tieflings, what they'd say is no tiefling is ever red. They'd still get them. Yeah. Because they can't make us. They can't control the scrunglies.
Look, I just say tieflings come in all shapes and colors. Call
Inside.
it a day.
Yeah,
Inside.
So saying we got on that much of a tangent, I guess it goes to show there isn't a lot to say about Dork, but she's fine.
Like,
she's a fine character who's
we've said more about her species and her powers than anything else, and she is a character that's defined by these two things. Go ahead.
Yeah,
she has a really cool scene though, and other people have said this, and I just also agree. Like, in the arena, the gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Her jumping into it, poking her finger out, and then transforming into a snake to escape it, and then pull everybody else out was fucking.
Oh, it was some clever shit.
That was cool, and I know it's gonna be that comparison, but it was a good scene. That like she basically does the Hulk Loki thing at the end of the movie, and it was great. Mm-hmm. Like just slamming the wizard over and over and over and over again. Like,
I mean, that's very real. It's very real to characters.
It's definitely something.
Like, she's been a thorn in our ass this whole campaign, and my character just keeps slamming her against the ground.
It's like, I'm gonna make sure she's not coming back. So let's talk about Simon.
I love Simon. Poor little
Simon's so pathetic. He's John Arbuckle.
I was very glad, since coming off of Dork, I'll say I'm very glad I don't even put it, because it's not really a romance. It's like he wanted there to be a romance, and then there wasn't.
He is
and then
courting her.
Courting, yeah. By the end of it, he's like, "Do you want to try again?" She's like, "Okay," and that's it, really. Like, otherwise, they're both solid characters of their own. And Simon he's so much fun. He's great.
The quintessential millennial with no faith in himself.
Exactly. Yeah, it was really good. And like he figured it out himself. He didn't even need the main character like to figure it out for him. Like,
yeah,
he figured it out.
Like, honestly, yeah, it's like they did some okay scenes of Edgin like trying to be very encouraging to him, but clearly at the same time Edgin being kind of frustrated and flustered and stuff, where he's like, okay, you could do it, but I can't make you do it. So whatever. Yeah. It's like, you have to figure it out. Bye.
And he did.
Yeah, and he does. Yeah. And he has so many his real like first introduction is such a great scene where he's doing the little prestidigitation, like dumb magic while robbing everybody in the room, and then doing that really great effect of like the gravity being flipped. It's like, this is so cool. This is for like a comedic introduction to a character, and they spent this much effort on this scene, and I love that they did. It's so much fun.
It also really sells the fact that he is a wild magic sorcerer.
God, he fucking is. I do like his little focus.
Yeah.
His little device thing. Yeah. That's really fun. And then decking the ancestor in the face.
Also, those scenes were just cool. Like when the world around him just started to melt apart. I guess
it was so good.
Spaghettification.
Yeah, the visual effects were great.
Probably some of the best in the movie, actually.
Yeah, they did. Like, it's really encouraging to that they could figure out a good way to show. I don't know if that counts like a different plane of existence or something, but it was a good visual effect for what they were doing with it.
Mind palace.
Yeah. Showing time.
And then they showed it from the outside.
Okay, this is half about Simon, half about a special effects thing again, because the time stop stuff was really cool. The couple times they did it, like, they just did a really good job at like capturing that effect of the stuff slowly moving as everything just locks into place. Like, that was just neat. I liked it. That's all.
I'm gonna have to use time stop in the campaign.
Oh no.
I won't use it in.
Is that a JoJo reference?
That I'm running from you because y'all are babies.
Is that a JoJo reference? Is it?
It is now.
Yes.
Okay, good. Are you gonna pick somebody up, carry them down the stairs, put them down, then walk up the stairs and then stand there?
I'm weirdly having a hard time thinking what else to say about him beyond just I liked him a lot and he was fun to watch.
He's lucky. He is this put upon little dude, and he knows he's like, oh god, I suck, but like I'm trying my best, but I really don't want to. But in the end, he just fucking sucks it up and just like he does what needs done.
He was kind of a main character, but not the main character. Like he would be the main character in another movie.
Yeah,
that's what it feels
main
like.
Character arc.
Actually,
Yeah.
If they did a second movie and it followed, what he's doing, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that too much.
Yeah, I definitely follow him.
I'm weirdly on the fence with the sequel for this movie because on one hand, like I feel like some of these characters just their story is complete.
Yeah, I can't see Druid Girl because Druid Girl's name is already out of my head. I can't see her. Okay. It's gone.
It's gonna be gone again.
Yeah, sorry, it's gone again. I can't see Druid leaving her forest unless she was forced.
I can't see Edgin or Holga. Like, I feel like their story is just done.
Yeah,
I feel like they have an ending to their story.
They'll raise their kid.
Simon honestly makes the most sense as a character you could carry on with.
Also, you know who else makes good sense?
Kira.
Kira.
I don't like it when they do that. I will be the guy that says this. I actually hate when I see a movie and then the sequel is, well, we're gonna follow what their kids did. I don't give a shit about what their kids did.
That's definitely fair, yeah.
Kira wasn't my vote. My vote was for Zenk, the Paladin.
Oh, the DMPC.
The DMPC. Yeah.
I'd follow his adventures. He's hot.
I could say that, yeah. Like, yeah, he definitely was put in there to be, to be like the amazing, perfect man kind of character with a tragic backstory. But he just lands it so well, and then the whole thing of him not understanding a lot of social stuff is fun. So.
Well, yeah, the thing of him being played as I'm a cool dude that knows all these cool dude things and can do all, and I'm super sweet and I give money to the poor, but also
and I rescue babies from inside of fishes.
Yeah,
that
was amazing. I love the and the little kitten comes out. I guess we're talking about him now. But
Zink.
Yeah,
God, I love him so much.
Zinkyandar. That's a Star Wars name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Wow, you just killed me. Anyway, snap. Okay, here we go. He has a pathos while somehow still being snarky about being a fucking social maladroit.
Yeah. He really is. We're all just blanking real hard. I think we're all thinking
we're thinking about how awesome the DMPC is.
We're all thinking about how hot he is. This actor.
I'd cuddle him.
But yeah, he's just a lot of fun. He serves his purpose well. I get why they chose to not have him be in the finale of it, but I kind of wish he was at the same time, just because he was a surprising amount of
it.
Yeah,
he couldn't have done it. He couldn't. He had to go. He's the DMPC. He had to, because what, as you're following the meta narrative here, if you're following this as a meta narrative of we're watching the movie version of a campaign, the GM's a good GM.
Yeah.
That's actually the biggest point in favor of this movie. It is, whether you hate the ampersand game or not, a good encapsulation of a good high fantasy campaign, basically in any system.
Yeah. It really is.
Because there's hitches, there's stuff that, okay, you have to smooth over, but like the GMPC walking into the distance because I can't fix it for you.
Also, like, if we're gonna take it out of the meta narrative and just look at it, I guess, straight as a movie, it doesn't make sense for him to be in the final confrontation because for the most part he has no stakes in this.
Yeah. Aside from
he wanted to just leave the Fae people behind and move on with his life.
Yeah.
I was really surprised he didn't die in the fight scene right before the dragon.
I was expecting
Me too.
it to.
I was like, yeah, he's gonna die.
Like I was totally like, okay, everything about that scene was like, okay, he's doing the just leave it to me thing. It's gonna be he's gonna be a cool dude, and then there'll be some haha sudden comedy death thing. And no, it's played completely straight. It's like, no, he's just a badass. This guy's just really cool. He's gonna do a really fucking cool fight scene, and then immediately show you that doesn't mean he automatically won, because these guys are basically undead. These guys are gonna get back up. There's a huge fat dragon, so he's not automatically winning the scenario. It's just, I need to remove this problem, give my people this thing. Now let's move on to the next scene, and it works, and it's cool.
That's one thing I can say about the writing for this movie, and I guess like doing it as looking at the writing as a GM, it's not written to be mean spirited.
Yes, very much so.
A lot of this is I guess weird and tells you where my headspace is. A lot of movies have just been written to be mean spirited lately, like movies that I enjoy.
I mean, I'm an edgelord. I get it.
I mean, it's why I would say the thing about it. It's not winking at the camera like a lot of the movies are, and it's not being mean spirited. It's being like, no, we just want to do this.
For a movie about a corporate property, it's not cynical. It's earnest.
It was written by the people who took a few liberties, and we're going to forgive them for that, because they made a really loving,
fucking good movie
tribute to something that they enjoy.
Yeah, like I feel like this kind of has some relation with it. And I meant to say this during the Egan thing. Good.
I wish Vin Diesel was in it.
God, that'd be great.
I'm so angry they made a D&D movie and Vin Diesel wasn't involved. What the fuck?
Look, there are several people that I wanted to show up and have like cameos or something in the movie.
Vin Diesel's the D&D like movie guy.
Fuck yeah. Like, Vin Diesel would have been great. Joe Manganiello would have been great.
Like he makes people come and play D&D with him.
Like part of me is okay. Again, I guess hot take. I'm glad there weren't any D&D celebrity cameos in the movie, because it just lets the movie stand.
To be fair, yeah.
People saying, "Hey, you should go see this movie. It has Critical Role in it somewhere." Like, no.
I don't. No. I'm fine with Matt Mercer. He's a fine guy. I didn't want to see his ass in the fucking movie. The only one I wanted to see was
anybody in the movie.
The only person, again, that I would be more okay with is Vin Diesel, because I love his cheesy, stupid movies, and the man has made cheesy, stupid movies about his tabletop characters, and he's fucking steeped in it.
Maybe for the sequel.
And he's basically the only actual celeb that I would have been. Well, I mean, there are celebs, but they're not like, you know what I mean.
like Joe Manganiello, really big D&D nerd.
Actually, what's his name? The villain
of the movie,
the mini boss, the friend.
Forge.
Yeah, Forge.
Hugh Jackman. Not Hugh.
That is not Hugh Jackman.
That is not Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant.
Now I'm picturing Hugh Grant's face on Hugh Jackman's body,
Shut up.
and I think my eyes are dead.
No.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Forge was so good.
I hated him. I hated him so much.
He was so good to hate. I enjoyed every second of despising that man.
He chewed the scenery so well, and it was. I loved
they allowed
He's
Hugh
such
Grant.
A good villain.
Yeah,
I didn't expect Hugh Grant. Like, because I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, who the fuck is this? That's Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant's one of the. Good.
I've seen him in. The only thing I think I've seen him in is rom-coms.
Yeah, Hugh Grant's one of those that's like, I know his name and I know his face separately from his name, but I never remember what I've actually seen him in.
I know About a Boy.
Yeah.
He's in About a Boy. That's the only one I remember. That. It's some dumb movie about some hippie parent with her stupid child.
All right.
But,
that was mean. That's someone's favorite. I'm sorry.
Everything is someone's favorite.
But yeah, he was Forge.
Why do you have to tell the truth?
Forge was just great. He was such a dick the whole movie.
He's such a piece of shit. Hey, I know you're maybe dead, but what if I instead told your daughter that you abandoned her, raised her as my own to hate you, and now I'm going to get a whole city of people killed because I like money, bro.
God,
You make me believe your belief that there's something good in me makes me think so too. She's a child and she's wrong.
Or the entire scene that's just like, what was it like?
I can't see you die, so I'm going to leave.
That was good too. That was so good. So I won't. Bye. But no, the scene where he's talking about being like, I never understood why someone would want to be a parrot until I basically became one. And now I realize it's like being a little god. It's like, oh, you're so fucked up, dude.
Yeah, like wow.
It's like wow, that just like it dropped you from okay, you're just kind of a little bit of a skeezy con artist guy to holy shit, you're terrible.
Holy shit, you're like, a literal fucking narcissist.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're evil. Oh, okay.
Oh, you're just a shitbag.
Yeah, it's like Safina is the real main villain, and she is fun for what she represents in the movie. But Forge just she steals the scene.
Her really actress did so good at being a scary staring lady. Like all she had to do was just like even when she was just wearing just the makeup and costume with none of the like veins and shit, like she just looked like a very pale lady.
Scary.
She was so good at just staring.
And then she opened her mouth to scream and point, and I was like, "Hey, none of that! Absolutely not! You put that back in the case."
God,
take it back.
Her entire final fight is so good. Like the whole sorcerer, because it feels like a true like wizard fight in a movie. Where it's like he's jumping around through like doing different spells and like all these really creative things, and the scenes of like Simon and her battling with just magic back and forth is so cool.
The hands.
Like, the big hands. Yeah, the hands.
Yeah, Bigby's hands. That's
Bigby's hands. Yeah, like actually, this dovetails nicely. Some people, I enjoyed that I could, as a D&D fan, be like, I know that spell. I've used that spell. I know that spell.
That's Green Flame Blade.
Yeah.
That's Bigby's hands.
Bigby's hands really good.
Like I think like I was we were discussing this we got out of the movie that it's like, you know, when it comes to like a fantasy movie, to some degree someone's going to go into the movie regardless of their background saying, you know, okay, this is a movie about magic. I can set my suspension of disbelief to it's about magic. There's going to be magic in there. I accept it, you know. But it's a very tricky thing for a movie to get you to understand what's happening with the magic. Because there are some movies that just completely screw it up, or they spend so long having to explain to you how everything works. This movie did a very good job of not having to explain much about a lot of the stuff, but also making it very clear what it does.
Yeah, a newcomer might not know the word spell focus. But they know, okay, that little twerpy guy, when he fiddles with that thing, magic happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't, you know, this person might have no idea what concentration magic is in the game, but they smack the wizard upside the head, she falls off the roof, and suddenly the big animated statue stops attacking them. Okay, I get it. Like,
I guess she's doing magic. They stopped her. Yeah.
Also, a nice touch was whenever they were casting spells that had like the somatic components, they weren't speaking in English when they said stuff.
Oh, thank God! Like someone just shouting really "fireball" sucks. Yeah, like fireball. No. That is what everyone thinks a LARP is like. I don't know what a LARP is like. I'm never going to a LARP.
Yes.
I'm married. I don't need to get laid. Let's get this out of the way. No one thinks nerds fuck. No,
they
dude.
Fuck.
If you play D&D, you fuck.
So much.
Unless you're some sort of creepy incel. And you know that's your fault.
So back to the magic.
Back to the magic.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's like even the stuff that's like weird, it plays well into if a spell is weird. If a spell would look weird on screen, it's gonna be reacted to weird. Like the thing with like they're charging Safina near the end, and I don't know what the spell was called. You guys probably know, but where she casts the thing and like catches them in the big water bubble and it just rolls off, and it's like that's played as oh god, what's happening?
Actually, do you know the name of that spell? Because I don't. Because that was not water.
I think
and it wasn't shaped water.
Spear.
Was it resilient? Okay, yeah, okay.
It was cool. It was a great scene.
There was one point where what's his name does shape water to get that big wave, and I'm like, bitch, my waves ain't that big.
Also,
Because I have shape water on my current spirit character.
The one time like a spell happens, like it's the first time time stops used in the movie, and they at least have the forethought to say, have one of the characters be like, oh shit, she's casting time stop, so that even if you don't know what that is, you'd be like, oh okay, I can put 3 and 2 together, I can get 5.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is a thing. Magic, actually, yeah, magic is a known factor.
Yeah.
It's like if someone threw a grenade. Oh shit, the monkey has a gun.
Exactly, yeah. It was a very natural way to do it without it just being like, oh, this is the thing that's on page of this of the book is this spell. It's just, oh god, I know what that spell is, time stop, fucking run.
We gotta go.
That's all I need to know, yeah.
And here's where I have to be the asshole here. And I have to say, this is such a fucking low bar to clear. It is pathetic that any fantasy or sci-fi movie can't clear this fucking bar, especially if it's based on a thing that already has laid it out. D&D, magic systems and shit should have been the easiest fucking thing to write because the rules are already written for you as a writer. All the work's done.
Mm-hmm.
All the world building, all of that shit. There's characters. There's setting stuff. The reason that they do that is so that GMs don't have to have a whole team of, Hollywood writers. But if you're a Hollywood writer, that's easy cake mode, which is why the other D&D movies actually put me into. I get angrier about media than I should. There's no reason for those movies to have sucked, aside from disregard.
We need to talk about a scene that we haven't talked about yet. And it's hard to say.
Wait, are we missing a character?
No. Well,
no,
not really. I guess there's Kira, but she doesn't have.
She's a child who manipulated her entire life.
Yeah,
the child actress did a great job, though.
Yeah, she did very, very good.
I want to say this one last thing about world building. It's really quick. I appreciate, it's going back to Simon's introduction when he's casting what was it, prestidigitation?
Yeah.
And just one of the people in the crowd going like, my child cast that
yes.
spell. Just lets you know that magic just is there. People
it's just a thing. Yeah.
It's a high fantasy setting. I'm blurring just a little bit. The trick is to do it just a little bit. You can blur a whole bunch. I'm like, oh, you're ashamed because you don't have blur. I'm a sorcerer. I got haste. Fuck you.
It feels okay. So it feels hard to say any kind. We'll probably say it's at the end too, but it's hard to say like a quote best scene kind of thing because there's so many good scenes in it. But the fucking portal scene.
God, that was so cool.
That was such that's another one I saw some of the behind the scenes from and the camera movements they did. It's everything about that scene is so good.
No. Which portal scene? That's my question.
When they're putting the painting into the cart. Into the carriage. It's a big heist style scene. The camera work for it's really good. The comedy's on point for it. The effects are so fucking awesome. The effects between the things where she's twisting in one into the thing and then looking through the portal in the other direction, and then the portal falling off and being dragged on the ground, but Simon's body's halfway out of it, but his body's at the end too. Everything about it just lands so good. That's a really good scene.
That's a really good standout scene.
Talking about writing, I think part of that, a lot of this movie is ready-made. A lot of this movie's plot is a bunch of plots that this movie is not anything that we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that out of the way.
Correct.
That's why it's good, is because they, like a D&D GM, kit bashed. They kit bashed a fucking a heist movie. They kit bashed, an escape from prison story. They kit bashed a bunch of stuff like that.
A bunch of family drama things, a bunch of dramatic social stuff. It's just good.
They just threw it all in the movie.
And by leaning on those that came before, they weren't cribbing off it. They were able to focus on what mattered, which was the characterization and the pacing and the so on and so forth.
The pacing was really good. Like, I forgot, like, this was like a 2-hour movie because there's so much in it, and the pacing's so quick that it's fun, and I want to watch it again.
There wasn't a moment. Go ahead, you talk first. I've been talking too much.
I'm trying to think. There's not much that overstays its welcome.
No. There wasn't really much that I was never sitting there thinking, okay, come on. And I am ADHD incarnate.
So, like, I'm gonna piggyback off of Gil talking about favorite scenes, and first off, if this is your first time listening, I have the caveman brain when it comes to watching movies. Like, action scenes get me going every time. The first real action scene between Holga and all the knights.
Oh,
that did it for me. That's when I was like, okay.
I'm surprised how far into the movie that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My favorite part is that the bard fucking helped her distract, and then he ran and hid. I think he only hit like one guy.
Oh, he was trying to get the things cut off his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just
let her do it.
His it would have been athletics since he's trying to cut the ropes. He was failing his athletics checks the whole time.
Yeah.
But let's be real, like he knows that she's got it. He knows his
got it. She could do this. Yeah.
That's trust that's built up for a long time.
Yeah. We didn't talk about. We barely talked about the speak to the dead scene too, but that was really good.
It again is a straight up scene from that happened that had to have come out of somebody's actual game.
Yes,
that sounds like something. That sounds like bullshit, my G. The only unrealistic thing about that scene, right, is that they were able to do it so many times. Unless they were just waiting a day each time, I would have enjoyed it if the token that let him do that was something that would have crumbled when he used it, and then he just pulls out a stack.
Yeah.
And like basically he's like,
good.
He's like, yeah, I just use magic items for part of my thing because I'm a shitty sorcerer.
Yeah, that would work. So I feel like we are up to the length of a normal episode for us, guys.
Yeah, just fucking talking about D&D. Well, part of it is just TTRPG and storytelling.
I mean, there was a lot to say about this movie, and it was a lot of fun.
I don't think we could have expected this episode to be short.
Nah, not really.
I love it. Like, I want to see the movie. I am going to get this movie physical.
Yeah, same. I haven't wanted to physically buy a movie in a while, and I definitely want to physically buy this one.
Maybe that should be our like top metric. Is do you want this on your shelf?
Yes,
yeah,
that's like the biggest
would
honor.
Would you see it again? Would you buy it? Yeah. Okay.
I would definitely. Works. Yeah. That's a good way. Yeah, I would definitely physically buy it.
Especially if we do this again to where we go see a movie that is currently in theaters.
I definitely I want to physically buy this and show this to a lot of people I know. It's very fun.
Yeah,
I want to make my mom watch this.
Same.
Actually, it's a wonderful family movie. Yeah, it is. It is a family movie.
Yeah,
it is a movie that it's not too much on the side of kid stuff, and it's not too much on the side of adult stuff. It's just it was just fun.
I think with like the stuff I haven't seen it, but I think with the stuff I've heard about, like, was it Vox Machina or whatever? I was going in with the expectations like this is probably going to have like a bunch of like this random violent like characters being, which sometimes you're expecting a gore movie, that's fine. But I was like, oh, it's going to have like random characters getting killed off left and right. It's like, no, not really. It's
the one time they showed that is during the speak with dead scene, and
which is funny. Yeah,
cuts away right when something terrible happens.
Can someone ask me a question, please?
Please. Oh, it's then you got it from the bath and you went to the fight, right? No, I died.
No, I died.
Or the guy that got hit with the arrow in the eye. Like,
God, that was
so funny.
Legit surprised me. I was like, oh, it just showed that, huh?
Like, Again, as a fantasy fan, this feels like Willow. If you like Willow, you'll like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so ratings. What's the rating we said? Would you buy it?
I'd buy it. I'd buy it to show it to people.
Yeah. It's like a fancy hamburger, like an $18 hamburger.
Yes, that's what we said the day of, was like, it's a really, really good cheeseburger.
Like, it's not great. It's
$18 hamburger.
Look, sometimes you need a fancy cheeseburger. You just need one.
The old sloppy, really well made one with all the toppings, except onions.
But like this cheeseburger feels more like it's made by,
a chef that cares.
Yeah. Like he might be young, and there might be like bread and butter pickles on it occasionally, but God, I hate bread and butter pickles though. But you pick them off and you eat the rest of it, and it's like the best burger you've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So, like I said this way earlier, like they wrote this movie without the intention of starting like I hate saying like,
Cinematic universe.
They didn't want to start a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's neat, but they also left in like little small things to where if a sequel happens, they have stuff. And my opinion on a certain drow has softened so much in the past couple years.
I know you're talking about the
Dritz.
No, his name is
So here's the thing.
the Mary Sue of Mary Sue's.
I hated Dritz for
the
longest, right? And then I learned that he named one of his swords Twinkle. And I can't hate a character who named a sword Twinkle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why did he name it Twinkle?
Because apparently he has a sense of humor.
I didn't know Dritz could laugh. I only okay.
He's such an edge boy.
Yeah, I've never actually read any of Ari Salvatore's stuff, and I'm a huge fantasy fan.
I've wanted to, but here's my problem with it. One, sometimes reading makes my brain itch, which is a problem. And two, I legit don't know where to start.
Scratch it?
Like there's so many of these books. I'm like, where go? So,
and to be real, when that vintage of fantasy,
it's like
you
the
never
Dragonlance
know.
novels.
I don't. Dragonlance was a formative experience. They are not good books.
So I'm going to. I guess I should do like a call to action or something. But like, if you have read the Dritz novels and know where to start, could you please like comment or something, or send me a message on Twitter at TankBox TV. I'm super easy to find.
I'd like to know that too.
I'll just look up some YouTube.
Don't find me though. Don't find me. Don't at me. I want to be left alone. Go ahead.
These two are apparently secret. I'm not. I have two YouTube channels.
What?
I'm stupid.
I'm not secret.
I'm fucking hell breakfast everywhere. You can find me if you want. Don't.
There's like 5,000
unless you want to pay me
to
draw big furry dicks. Don't. I will if you will. I'll draw you a fat dragon.
There's like thousands of people on the internet who know who I am, and that is still the most surreal feeling in the world. I get famous. I gotta go to conventions and get people be like, "Oh, I love your stuff," and I'm like, "Why do you know me?"
That's my purse.
Why am I famous?
So, this has been fun. This has been great.
Yeah, we need to end it in the tooth.
We didn't do any of the ending things, but honestly, this movie's great.
We said we'd buy it. We said we'd see it again.
Oh, we did all the ending things. Favorite scenes, whether we'd buy it or watch it again. We
did.
We're good. And then we talked about Dritz beside.
Because he has a sword.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Okay,
I'm gonna refrain from what I was gonna say.
This podcast is like a D&D session. Where everything's out of order, nothing goes the way you planned it does. We get caught on random tangents for a while, and
we talk over each other.
Yeah, and it didn't. We didn't record this at the time we originally were supposed to, and that's just like a D&D session too.
Yeah, you're right. So,
actually, no, wait. No, one more thing. I just say one more thing, and this way we can end it. Then we can end it. When we saw the movie. We saw the movie. it gets to the time, it gets to like 4 o'clock when the movie's starting for us, right?
Yeah.
And the screen is black. No audio, no video for like 7 minutes. And we're like, that is the most fucking thing that even the movie didn't show up on time for its session.
Actually, God, and here we go, because this is like a D&D session, because we all have a one more yes and. Hey, when you watched it, did you have a very special message from the cast?
Yeah.
You're the real heroes.
So
No, I'm
weird.
not. I'm in a chair that stinks of popcorn.
Y'all listeners, have a good night. Drink water. And, if you are
And we didn't talk about
game,
One to
buy
Fuck
your
Dragons
D&D.
either, so it's not a D&D game. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Also, there weren't any queers in the movie. Now it's over.